Well, whilst the outcomes have been pretty much as expected so far at Olympique Marseille, there is no doubt it's been an entertaining start when it comes to our performances on the pitch. Lots of goals against the lower opposition in the league, one defeat on the road, and today we've got a deadline day with no money remaining, and our director of football has got his work cut out here, with his hands effectively tied behind his back. Yes, hello, and welcome along to part 72 of the head coach with me, Daniel. We continue our first weeks in charge of Olympique Marseille today with a tough trip to Stade de Reims, who are expected to finish in the top half this year. They've had a difficult start on paper. As a result, they've only got 3 points, and we'll be looking to punish them today. We've got a surprise superstar as Ilian Ndiaye continues his brilliant form. And we've got 3 wins out of 4, with just a defeat away at the second favourites for the league. We've also got our Champions League draw. We've got one youngster leaving the club. So if you're looking forward to all of that, seeing how we get on away from home today and what deadline day brings in the next couple of days, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. We're going to start by having a look at a little bit of news in the transfer centre. There's been some rejected loan offers, ironically last from Reims for Yunus Musa. If we look at the player who's left the club, it is one of the more promising youngsters. 21-year-old Kylian Cassou has gone to Lorient, who were relegated to the second tier. I'd like to hope he'll get some football there because he's a good youngster with a good personality and could come back ready to play at the top tier for us or somebody else. We've also got an addition to the squad in Luis Ascostino. I'm not sure if we mentioned him last time, but he is a good young player. Got some core attributes, got a bit of potential. I genuinely can't remember if we mentioned him. So if we didn't, there he is, but you won't see him again this year. No more first teamers out. A couple of offers, but no massive ones. But as you can see, a lot of those first teamers are attracting a lot of interest. Some of the subs have got interest in them, but a lot of the starters also. And that's going to be my main concern when deadline day comes around, which is Tuesday night by the looks of it. In fact, it's tomorrow night, isn't it? But the other big news is that we've got our Champions League draw and we've played a few more games off camera. So let's just have a look at the schedule and deal with both of those situations because it's been emphatic to say the least. We had disappointment away at Monaco, but we did have a brief moment of joy. And in the other games, as you saw against Clermont, we've continued in a very attacking vein. We're trying to play front-footed. We're trying to play in a way that I don't normally, but suits this team. We backed up our 6-1 win with a 5-1 at Nantes. It was a really good result. Facundo Torres scored in the first minute. Second game in a row that happened. A brace for Zaragoza. One for Ndiaye. And a goal for Ellertson as well, the Icelandic midfielder off the bench. We then lost 2-1 at Monaco after Ilian Ndiaye had given us the lead, but we just couldn't quite cope with them in the end. The 3-0 win at home to Lens very much made up for that. 2 for Fratesi, who finally joined the party. And Facundo Torres got the opener as well. So we now go to Stade de Reims. Both teams with a full complement to choose from, but let's see how it's going to get tougher next month because the schedule is tight thanks to the Champions League. And this is our draw. Ajax at home, probably a game we've got to try and win. Certainly a game we've got to avoid defeat in. City away is going to be a free hit because we're going to be very much the underdogs. I might even rest people for that game if we beat Ajax. We then go away to Juve in October, which is a really interesting one. And it will feature in the next episode because they're a club that we had a job interview at in the summer and we didn't get offered it. And I thought the squads were very similar. So I think our next episode, we're going to ignore City and PSG, as tempting as they are. They're games where we're going to be the underdog. And yes, we might cause a shock. We might miss something great. But away to Juve is one of those, I'm not sure, can we get a result games? And away to Lille are one of those sides that are expected to be in the battle between 3rd and 6th with us. So probably a season-defining game. We've then got a home match against Besiktas, which the Turkish sides don't always travel well. We go away to Greece to face PAOK, who I would expect to get a result against. We did well against them with Bournemouth. We've got Lille away in a Champions League, which I'm not sure is supposed to be possible. You'll have to let me know in the comments with a new format. We've got another French side, which I'm not sure is supposed to be happening, but we'll gloss over that for now. And we finish with a double Italian job at home. It is Inter Milan and it is Lazio, just 6 days apart. I mean, that is not good scheduling for us, is it? But a bit of a weird one. French opposition, got to be honest, I hadn't noticed that before. but Juve away is going to be the crucial one. I mean, we've only got to get in the top 24, and I would like to think that between, well, Ajax, Besiktas and PAOK will get 7 points, and then can we nick one at home to one of the Italian sides, etc. Of course, Lazio, we owe a bit of revenge. They got in there by winning the Europa League, where they beat my Bournemouth team in the final. But for now, let's go and get ahead to today's game against Stade de Reims. Then we'll worry about deadline day with 1.5 million remaining. Bit of wage budget, but I'm more worried about the big sales, to be honest. So let's go and get through the fixtures and see what team we can put out. You can see that Clermont, I mean, they've lost 5 again. They're struggling against the big boys. There's definitely a bit more of a divide between the top and bottom teams in this division. So let's go and get through the tactical meeting. Let's get the opposition instructions on. We've got Bakayoko back. Rem have got a good team and they're playing 4-4-2. This could be pretty interesting. God, they've got a bit of a legends team, haven't they? Bilo in goal, Ayari in midfield, Pulisic there, Shalov up front. We've just gone for an old boys team. Let's see how they are. For us, it's going to be a very similar lineup because we're playing well all the time. But Bakayoko today is going to return to the squad, probably in place of Teze, who's not really had to feature so far this year. The only other injury news is that our backup keeper has been out with a knock, so Suzuki, the number 3, is the sub at the moment. But otherwise, it's pretty much as you would expect. Sasha Bowie's not had the best start to the season, but he is in a more defensive role. And everyone else has played pretty well, to be honest. Vitinha has had some good games. I might have to try him as an advanced forward because the pressing doesn't seem to be quite as effective. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just him getting used to the role. This team, though, is very strong, and Dai will keep his place. It is Dumont in goal. Bowie and Bartasagi, the fullbacks, with Puyol and Querfeld at centre-half. Diaz and Fratesi, the midfield 2. Torres and Zaragoza out wide. And then Dai behind Vitinha up front. And I should mention at this point, too, that the only game we lost away at Monaco was the one where we had to make a couple of changes due to injuries. So Diaz didn't play in that game and Bartasagi didn't play. And it probably was quite costly. But Monaco, by far the best team we've played. Stade de Reims, a side expected to be competitive, so I'm not expecting one of those 5s or 6s, but I'm kind of hoping we'll win the game, to be honest. So let's go and get through to the first half. Millian Manhurth as well is in there. Who's on the bench? Anyone we know? Not too many familiar names, but Ayari was dropped. He was expected to be in the 11. Let's go and get through the dressing room note. We're going to have a chat, tell the lads to pick up where they left off against Lens. They've been pretty good in every game, to be fair. The Monaco game, we had a chance to level it late on. But overall, 9 points out of 12 I'm happy with. If we can be the best of the rest after maybe, well, PSG definitely and probably Monaco, I'd be a pretty happy man. As they get the ball back early, the home side, they give it into Casado and Pulisic. We know they've got talent going forward, but have they got the legs to compete for 90? That's what I like about the pressing forward role with Vitinha. Back to halfway, won the ball. Also got fouled, but we carry on with an advantage. Not sure that this is a more advantageous position, but we'll see. Torres picks it up on the right. I might be proven wrong. Diaz carrying it forward from the holding role to Torres again. Support down the line. And what I love is we've always got 4 in the box. Fratesi cuts back. Diaz is there. That's our holding midfielder into Ndiaye. And he has another strike as Bartasagi brought down. Is that a penalty? No, it's a good tackle. Out for a throw-in. That had been at the other end, I'm sure it would have been given. No shot on target yet, but they're throwing bodies on the line. And we're having a really good start here as Torres into Vitinha. Loses out, but it's away as far as Zaragoza on the right. Into Fratesi. Lovely turn. Lovely strike off the bar. And then Ndiaye on the rebound puts it in. I looked at the flag, but I've got to be honest here. We've stumbled on this. If we'd had a fully fit team, I mean, who's to say that Torres wouldn't have done the same in the number 10 role? I don't know. But if we'd had a fully fit team at the start, if Bakayoko hadn't got injured, Iliman Ndiaye would have started the year on the bench, I've got to be honest, and he's become the star of the show. So maybe I have to take a little less credit and count myself a bit fortunate. Count my lucky stars here. As Ndiaye breaking down the left again. The boy's inspired. In towards Torres. The keeper punches. They've got a chance to break here. It's a big ball out to the right. The left back's out of position and Marquez can run at us. But we get back really well. Force the ball back to halfway. And we should have a decent shape again now. As Adoa finds Betrancourt. I mean, our biggest worry defensively is the counter-attack. When we can get back in shape, we've generally been okay this year. And I know that might be a famous last word. As Betrancourt finds Casado and Adoa. back into midfield. They've played well here. Shaloff finds Nakamura. Good run on the right. Oh, they've done us. Great goal. Just as I say, we're great from defending in a shape. We're absolutely carved open by, well, it's a wonderful goal. And it's not really a counter-attack, as the commentary says. They kept it for 20 passes. We've seen 2 very good goals in this match. There's a long ball forward by the goalkeeper. Vitinha drops back to link with Ndai, and he finds Zaragoza on the left. Takes on his man. Ball across to Ndai. Oh, it's off the line again. But Vitinha's there to poach. He's not just a pressing forward. He started the move by linking up in the midfield area. And he gets there to tap in from a yard. Ndai was there as well. Zaragoza does brilliantly. And now we're 2-1 up. And it's been another thrilling start to a game. And it's another pretty breathless performance. We're playing some wonderful stuff. Our expected goals is almost 3. And we're on the attack again with Bartasaghi, playing a 1-2 with Zaragoza. Diaz exchanges passes with him as well. And it's a curling effort just wide. This is a wonderful game of football. As Bailao plays long downfield. And at least it's nice to play attacking football. We did it with Gifu as well, didn't we? It's great to be on the front foot and entertaining. Rather than what we had to do at Bournemouth, which was be disciplined to compete with teams that are far superior to us. As Diaz finds Ndai, we're breaking through midfield again. Fratesi to Torres, cuts on his left, and it's just over the bar. Lovely football again. But are we going to rue these missed chances? Because there should be more to it than this. With 5 to the break, Torres is injured. Bakayoko, can he do just over 45? Bartasaghi clears the ball downfield. Let's see out this attack. Vitinha breaking away down the left. Support inside from Ndai. Those 2 linking up well. Back to Bartasaghi and Zaragoza. We could bring on Fatawu instead if we want to play safe. Because we've lost the ball in the middle yet again. Marquez forward to Adoa. They're committing men forward as well, to be fair to them. But Puyol does brilliantly. The clearance from the keeper's awful though. Fratesi makes something off it. Finds Ndai. Vitinha to Fratesi. What a counter this is. Fratesi beats his man. Into the box. Oh, off the post. Brian Zaragoza. Off the defender. Diaz over the bar. Oh, we're a joy to watch. I'm going to bring Fatawu on because I don't want to risk injury. Bakayoko should be limited to 45 and I don't even want him to have that really. So I'm going to be a bit more cautious with him. But how have we only scored 2? As Fatawu's corner, Querfeld on. It's off the post again. Oh my God, Sasha Bowie. Our expected goals is almost 4. And we've not got the goals to show for it this time. Fatawu to Fratesi, brilliant football. Stays on his feet despite the foul. Finds Sasha Bowie on the right. To the byline he goes. He's just challenged. Bartasaghi down for Zaragoza though. Diaz on the edge. Bartasaghi shoots. Just wide. I'm gutted we're only 2-1 up. The expected goals is well over 4 now. And at half-time, that is the best we've played by a country mile. But it's only 2-1. And Stade de Reims have got a counter-attacking threat. We've seen it. Bartasaghi is straight on the front foot though with Zaragoza. The 3rd goal would settle me. Fratesi back to Diaz. On the edge of the box, goes wide right. Poor for Fatawu, but Bowie's there. Fatawu cuts back. Diaz again. Fatawu again. To the back post. Zaragoza's there. He's hit the post again. How many times are we going to hit the woodwork? It's frightening. I've got to see it on the detailed stats. We'll look when we next get a break, but it's a wonderful game of football. Casado chips forward. Zaragoza intercepts. And Stade de Reims are now looking to get forward. This is the problem with not taking your chances. It would be a hammer blow if we don't win this. Surely we're going to score again. As Puyol gets it into Diaz. Turns on to his right. Out wide to Sasha Bowie, who's got 2 running down the line. One of them's the sub for Taru, who's done really well already. Cuts in from the right. It's a teasing ball. Vitinha's up. And there go all of the concerns. 3-1 is the lead. Vitinha's not scored many this season. I think he only had 1 before today. But what a cross for Taru. And the striker's delivering when it matters. When everyone else is failing. As Puyol at the back finds Diaz and now Querfeld. Out to the left to Bartasaghi. 1 more and we can start thinking about who we want to rest again, which is nice. As Adoa picks it up at right back into Manhuev. He finds Shalov. Out to the left to Pulisic. Down the line for Nakamura. Don't give us another one against. Come on. It doesn't deserve to be 3-2. We're so poor defensively, but we've got to exchange that. We want to be playing, we can outscore you. But 4.5 expected goals to half an expected goal. And it's now 3-2. As Diaz wins it back, hoofs it clear. Vitinha gets up. Fratesi wins it. To Ndai. I mean, I genuinely don't know how we haven't scored more. We've hit the woodwork more times than I can remember. But Diaz just bringing a bit of control back to the game. And again, hopefully, we can build it into a meaningful attack. As Sasha Bowie down the right to Fatawu. Far more exciting to watch than the 1-0 to the Bournemouth, though, isn't it? As Fratesi can switch left. Has the options ahead of him. Goes alone, no. What a run this is. Free in the middle. Good challenge. Falls for Zaragoza. He's lost it to Chalov, but somehow comes out with a ball. Diaz plays it back to him. Into Vitinha. Hat-trick for the Portuguese striker. Oh, he's deserved that. He's played really well. I don't know how Fratesi's not got a 7 rating in this game. He's been remarkable. With 10 gone in the second half. It is 4-2 to Marseille. The expected goal's over 5 now. And we can think about changes if we can keep the defence solid. But every time I say it, we then concede a chance. And from corners, we've got no one with height. And that's what happens. How have we let in 3 goals in this game? Did you see that as well? His first goal in 115 matches. Nothing sums up FM like that. I mean, we've not got any height in the team. We can't complain. As Bartasaghi throws into Ndai, it's cleared as far as him again. We deserve at least 6 or 7 from this match. As Brian Zaragoza cuts in. Chance to shoot from the edge. He does. He's straight at the keeper. Puyol's having a bit of a stinker at centre-half. Maybe he comes off. Fratesi's rating's poor. Do I go a bit more solid in midfield? That's maybe the other school of thought here. If I bring on Ellertson. Sorry, we're getting back in midfield there. Can we drop him to a support duty? Maybe a deep liar on support. Just make it a bit more solid in the middle there. Bakayoko is going to come on for Zaragoza. He makes his comeback. In the number 10 role, I'm going to bring Brandao on. And I'm going to put Vitinha in the number 10. Although it did look like they were better that way round, didn't it? So let's just leave it as it is. Let's not try and be too clever. We're going to bring on Suzuki at centre-half because Puyol's not having a good game. I'm going to hope that at 4-3 with 20 to go, we get the win that we've more than deserved. I mean, according to the stats, it should be 5-1. But this is remarkable. They've scored every chance they've had, and we've missed more than a hatful, probably 2 or 3 hatfuls. As Iari picks the ball up in the centre circle to Akumu. We're not going to win this game, are we? We're going to throw it away, though. Brandau's nicked it for Ellertson, and now for Tawu. You can see Ellertson's just sitting in that shape this time. But Tawu suddenly started giving the ball away every time he gets it. He was remarkable when he first came on. Maybe they've learned how to deal with him. The big switch is intercepted by Bartasaghi, but it's back to Bertrand Court. Bartasaghi nicks it again, though. Look at that pressure. 3 in the middle. Can we please score? Diaz gives it away to Ellertson, and now we're 2-on-2. Oh my God, this is infuriating. Marquez down the right. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. 4-4. How on earth is this happening? We've had enough chances to win about 6 matches, I kid you not. They've had 4 shots on target, and they've scored 4. I'm almost speechless. We're going to lose it the way we're going. I mean, it's going to be a great season to watch, but this will be one of those games you can never explain. Minte's in, we're going to lose. Oh my God. Oh my God. We're going to go back to normal in midfield because, God, this ain't worked, has it? I'm not sure it's anything we've done wrong there either. From 4-2 up. The goalkeeper's having a stinker. The centre-halves have been pathetic. I mean, look at the ratings. We've conceded 5 goals and all of the defenders are rated all right. It doesn't make any sense. We've got to get something out of the game. Seriously. Bakayoko on the left. Ball in. Straight at the keeper. We've got 4 minutes of added time to go. I mean, I've got to be fair and say the weakness in our team is left centre-half. Puyol's a good signing, but he's not as good as Querfeld. And the goalkeeper has been, well, pretty damn awful today by the looks of things. But the truth remains, we should have scored 7, 8 or 9. It should have been out of sight by half-time, which some of the others were, though. We've nicked it with Brandao. Can we still salvage something? Oh, what's that? It's a 5-yard pass, man. Nakamura down the right. We can't concede 6. Surely not. Oh, my words. You're not getting much commentary out of this because I do not know what to say. Look at the stats for this football match. 6 shots on target, 6 goals for Stade de Reims. We've had over 30 shots and we've done nothing with it. We were 2-1 up at half-time. We knew we were going to regret missing them, but to go 4-2 up and then concede 4. Going to be a long old debrief this, isn't it? Bakayoko to Brandao. It doesn't even matter if we score now. Brandao cuts it back for Diaz. It hits the bar. How many times have we hit the woodwork? We've got to get the stats up on that. We might concede again. Diaz into Ellertson. I mean, I really hope this is just one of those days. Oh my God, we've hit the post again. Is this serious? I want to see it. Didn't this stat used to show how many times you've hit the woodwork? It's got to be at least 5. I can remember 5. We've had 5 clear-cut chances to there too. We have 35 shots to 8. Our expected goals is nearly 6 and we've only got 4. I mean, the defence is just appalling, but still. Querfeld, through ball to Fatawu. I mean, even in these 4 minutes of stoppage time, we've had 3 or 4 great opportunities. I will never, ever be able to explain how we lost that game. 6-4 is the defeat. I'm pretty much speechless. It looks like we've been picked for crazy game of the week there. And we ain't going to finish in the top 2 or 3 if we keep playing like that. I mean, most of the other games, we've given up very few chances. Torres is only out for a week. And really, we could have done with a good start because the squad isn't going to cope when we've got European football starting as well. I mean, I am astounded. Can we get it in the data hub? There's got to be a way to find out how many times we hit the woodwork. It said we scored none of our shots from outside the area, so maybe we have to look at working the ball into the box. But in the first game, we scored screamers galore, didn't we? I'm really finding that difficult. I mean, we outplayed the opposition, yeah. I mean, look at that XG. We should have won 6-2 and we lost 6-4. It's probably the most entertaining game you'll ever see on this channel, but for now, we go ahead to deadline day, slightly crestfallen. I'm hoping it's just that one game of the week that's bizarre, but let's go and move on and see if anything happens before the end of the window. Who are we going to lose on deadline day? Let's wait and see. Well, just hours after the disappointment, we are back for deadline day. I thought we had a benefit because I saw that a transfer clause had come through, a sell-on clause, but doesn't look to be that way. Not enough to affect our finances well anyway. Domestic window shuts tonight, the transfer window shuts. Yunus Musa linked with a move away. Weston McKennie linked with a move away. We've been linked with Atalanta's Federico Cianci, who is a right winger at 22. I mean, he'd suit the style. We don't really need him. But if we can get him on loan within our budget, then it's another good player. But let's have a look at deadline day. Teze linked with a move away as well. And we'll just see what happens. I'm resigned to losing a star. But after last night, I don't really care. Oh, look. We're linked with Ilya Zabani. Not sure how we're affording 17.5 million, but he was the superstar for us at Bournemouth who got sold in the first summer. I would love to have him at centre-half. I tell you what, if we could get him in at central defence, no matter what it meant, we would have a much stronger team for the year. So sell Teze, sell McKennie, sell Musa, and get me in Zabani. That's what I want done today. 16 hours to go. Let's see if any of that happens. Over to you, Director of Football. Right, there are loan offers coming in for our players, and we've made an offer, among many by the looks of it, for Norgeland's Kiombo. Is he a young player? I'd assume he is. He is. No, he's a 25-year-old who's out of contract in winter. Okay. He's got a very good record in the Danish league. But he's going to have to be a superstar of that league to come to us. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a good enough player. I'd certainly take him. He's a bit more of a traditional winger. Gives us an alternative option. Other offers have included Roma as well, which might make that difficult. They're rejecting loan offers galore for other players in the squad, but it doesn't look like there's much else happening. If we could agree free agents, though, that would make a big difference to our season. Well, first news of the day is a rejected deal for Kiyombo. He's chosen Roma over us, which is a bit of a shame because that would have been a steal of a wage for a player of that quality. But oh well. Let's have a look. Ndai has got an extension clause in his contract. He's staying for another year. Loan offers for Lafont rejected, which he's not happy with. Oh, he wants to leave the club. I'll leave that to Vasquez to decide. We've got other loan offers here that are rejected again. It's going to be a long day, isn't it? I don't think we're going to see much on the ins front, certainly not in the immediate, but a director of football has got the option to sell people, and there are still plenty that are attracting interest. Well, 6 hours to go, and it's becoming a pretty frustrating day because I can see the director of football wants people out of the club, but he doesn't look like he's getting people sorted. We've got offers that he's accepted for a Kenyan youngster who is nowhere near good enough, but 50 grand ain't going to change our world. Queen's Park and Plymouth, the side's coming in for him. He's rejected an offer for Weston McKennie, who has been desperate to get out. He's been transfer listed. He's had a chat with him and agreed to sell him for next to nothing, but that's not even a wage contribution. And then we've got other loan offers that are being rejected because they're not meeting the director of football's standards and they're not paying enough of the wage to help him out. There's no budget remaining and there's nothing being discussed. And I think the one that we missed out on for free is probably going to be the last try of the window. I don't see a centre-half coming in, which is a worry based on the last performance. Well, more loan offers that are getting rejected, but we have finally got a sale. Not going to change the world, but Samuel Oshieng leaves for 45 grand, and that does bring a bit of money into the club. Again, not enough to change the budget too much. 4 hours remaining, a very upsetting end to the window. And to be fair, I would have been absolutely happy with nothing today if we'd won that other game 6-2 as we should have. But now I think I'm just in a bit of a strop. So let's get the day done with. More rejected loan offers and a quiet end to the window. I mean, to be fair, probably more has happened than I expected to, as we've got to register everyone for the Champions League. I haven't looked actually. Yeah, we've got virtually no one at first team level homegrown at the club. So this could be problematic. Let me just try and set this quickly. Well, there we go. We've got 25 players in our first team squad, but 3 of them aren't going to be able to play. And the problem with that is that we're going to have to take out people who I wouldn't want to because the 2 weakest players, Lafont and Manuel, contribute to the homegrown, so I can't drop them out. And that means that we're going to be upsetting people. It's going to have to be Weston McKennie because he's nowhere near for me. It's going to have to be the third choice goalkeeper because we haven't got another option there. And then we've got to find one more from somewhere. What on earth do we do? Do I drop out Teze, who is the weakest defender? Is there anyone further forward that's a candidate? There's not really. It's going to have to be Teze, and he'll be annoyed by it. But that's what we've got to do. I can see if there's any younger players in the second team that have got it. We put them in ability order. There's a couple of 21-year-olds who are homegrown at the club that could maybe go in just as an option, but they're not really good enough to play for us. Jonathan Lasser could be the third one, but I mean, we're clutching at straws there badly, aren't we? There had to be homegrown in the club players, and that's the best we seem to have. So we'll confirm that selection. We'll reflect on a transfer window for us that was pretty interesting after joining Monaco. Carlos Augusto off the wage bill was a big one, but then we lost 2 key players to Saudi. Mats Vijver in particular would have been that stalwart holding in the midfield, would have given us that little bit of defensive solidity. Valerdi, 21 million. Not devastated about that, but I would argue we've not got in a centre-half as accomplished as him just yet. Certainly not one as tall and competent in the air. And then a few other youngsters and lone players too. The players that have come in, Aaron Vlerdgraven, a good young right back. And again, for the future, this team's going to improve. But 5'6" at right back. Guindo, a little bit better, 6 foot at centre-half. Maybe I should have bought him on last game, I don't know. But he's played okay when he's featured. And then Edgar Puyol, the third first teamer. Again, poor in the air, but a very good footballer. And adds to the continuing Spanish vibe that we're experiencing here on and off the pitch at Monaco. So that's the transfer window, a quiet end to it. But I think the feature of the episode ended up being a game, which we probably didn't expect at the start. A Vitinha hat-trick puts us 4-2 up as Ndai continues his good form. An injury and a remarkable last half an hour sees us lose 6-4 as we experience our final week before Champions League football has to be juggled with this. I'm going to target certain games. If we can beat Ajax, I can then rest people against City and so on and so forth. So we're going to be back as we face, let's get it up in a month view, Juventus, who we had a job interview with in the summer, but didn't get the job. and Lille away, who are in that battle with us for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. But at the moment, the way we're playing away from home, we might have a little bit of trouble with that. At home, we look remarkable. If you want to stay up to date and see how we get on, and you did enjoy, well, probably the craziest game we've had on the channel this year, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what on earth you thought of it and how on earth we managed to lose it. Do I maybe need to be a bit less naive and train a second tactic where we can go back into a shape when we're 2 or 3 goals up? But every other time we've gone on to win by 3 or 4, so I don't really want to nullify us like that. Do I just accept that's a one-off and trust that most of the time we will outscore the opposition if we play that way? Let me know your opinion down below, and if you want to stay up to date with the season, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back on Monday to manage our first Champions League game of our career, in Europe that is. We've of course managed in the Asian Champions League. But between now and then, we'll be back with Southend United tomorrow, another one of our Sunday specials later on in the weekend. And of course, you can find links to our key playlist, the Twitch channel and the football podcast all up in the eye above. And it's the final week of our partnership with HelloFresh UK. At the top of the description, get 60% off and free delivery on your first box, as well as 2 months worth of discounts there. Thank you to everyone who supported it so far. It does make a massive difference. And I hope you continue to enjoy it as much as I am. But I'll see you next time to head to Turin against the side we could have been managing if things had gone differently this summer. And then a big game in the battle for the top 4 in France as we head to Lille, one of our direct rivals.